Guys, what's up? What's up? So, I got to experience the Canada border crossing with a commercial vehicle. So, it's like the worst experience of a lifetime. If you ever want to have a terrible experience, drive a commercial truck and try and cross the border. It's awful. So, there's like a million papers that you have to do. You've got to all your bills of lading, a couple of inspection sheets, just some other stuff. You have to fax it all into what they call a broker, and the broker inspects all your papers and make sure it's clear to cross. So you have to wait for them to make sure it's clear to cross, and then once it's clear to cross, then you can cross. And when you cross, say you have a meat load. If you have a meat load, they can break your seal, inspect your load, all that stuff. Oh God, I hope I don't have to do that. But they break your seal, reseal it, stamp your papers again. If you have anything wrong with your truck, if you have a missing, say one of your lights is out, or say one of your tires is 10 psi low, they can stop you and give you, dude, the fines are insane. I think for a missing, a loose lug nut on your tire, just one, there's 10 of them. So, dude, you could have 5 loose lug nuts and you'd be okay. But, yeah, say you have a loose lug nut. That's a $5,000 fine when you cross the border. If you're on your tandems, on your, I think I explained this in one of my videos, but on your tandems, which is where your wheels can slide back and forth on your trailer. So in Canada, they can't be any higher than the 5th hole, so they have to be 5 or lower. So if they're any higher than the 5th hole, they can give you another fine. I don't know what that fine is. I'm sure it's in the thousands. But once you get into Canada, the people, dude, oh my God, the people are so nice. I picked up in Midland, Ontario, and dude, this lady was oh my, it's like truckers are like a commodity or something. They treat us so well. Usually when you stop and you pick up somewhere, the people are, some are polite, but none of them are nice by any means. So usually when you go into a pickup or you're at a receiver, a shipping office, you you go in or whatever. If you're picking up, you say, hey, I'm with whoever, Stevens Transport or whoever, and they ask for a pickup number. You give them your pickup number, and then they just say, okay, blah blah blah. You might have to wait a little while if the load, if they don't have the product yet or whatever, you might have to wait a little while, and so anyway, so if it's ready, they say, hey, okay, back into door 3 or whatever. So you back into door 3, you wait for them to load your truck, and then wait for them to load your truck. That could take 10 minutes. It could take 3 days. It just depends. If it's a meat load, dude, that it can take up 3 days. So so that's kind of the process of it in the U.S. Well, I went to Canada, and I picked up, like I said, in Midland, Ontario, and the lady, oh my, she was like a mom. You know, just that kind of attitude. You know, she said, "Hey, you know, how are you doing?" I'm like, you know, I'm fine. You know, I'm ready to go home. I'm trying to get home to my family. She's like, "Oh, okay. You know, good luck with that. Blah blah blah." And so I told her, you know, I'm with Stevens. Blah blah blah. You know, I'm here to pick up. She's like, "Okay, well, your load's not quite ready. We don't have the product yet. It's not, you know, it's not ready to be shipped till tomorrow." And I was like, "Okay, well, is there any place to park like near around here?" And she was like, "Well, you can stay here. I locked the gate at 4. You know, I don't want to like lock you in, but you can stay here if you want. There's a Walmart down the street. You can stay there. Blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, well, yeah, thanks. I really appreciate it." Because usually the shipper is like super rude. Like if the load's not ready, they're like, "Load's not ready. You know, you gotta wait." No, you know, I'll just be like, "Okay." But this lady like told me like I could park there. There was no parking really for the trucks, but she said I could park there anywhere. Usually in the U.S., if there's not parking, there's not parking. They don't care if you're out of hours, like you can't drive anymore. They don't care. They say get out. And this lady, you know, was gonna let me park there. I actually parked at the Walmart, but anyway, gave me directions to the Walmart. Like just so nice. So so like I said, usually, I mean, they're not. Some are really rude. Some just are, you know, just say do this, do that, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So yeah, crossing the border into Canada was super easy. Like, I mean, I went through. I had already inspected my truck like super well, so you know, just to make sure that I didn't have anything wrong. And then. Yeah, super easy. Just ask me a few questions. You know, do you have any ammunition or, you know, guns or tobacco or anything else? You know, they ask you those kind of things. If you have any more than like a carton of cigarettes, I think they'll take your cigarettes because I think, you know, you're in. You might sell them or something. So. Yeah, just ask you questions like that, like where your citizenship is, blah, blah, blah. You know, and then they'll let you cross. Stamp your papers, blah, blah, blah. Super easy getting in. And coming back to the U.S. was a whole nother problem. There's probably like 50, 60 trucks in line to cross the border from Canada. And so I'm waiting in this line. There's like probably 7 or 8 trucks in front of me. And the line's moving. Like I'm not just like sitting there for 10 minutes. Like it kind of keeps moving truck after truck. And so I get there. I waited maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes for 7 trucks. I get there and it takes 20 minutes. I don't have meat. Like I don't have anything that should be inspected. All I have is pastries. But I'm sure when he saw my passport, you know, we saw Colombia, you know, born in Colombia. Probably saw all the places I traveled, like all this different stuff, and so he probably was freaking out. And, you know, asked me a bunch of questions, just like I said. Do you have any ammunition? Is anybody else in your truck? Do you have tobacco? Blah, blah, blah. And then he asked me if, you know, where my citizenship was. And I didn't understand him at first because it's really loud. Like there's all those trucks all like with their engines on. Like it's just really loud, so it's hard to hear. And he asked me where my citizenship was, and I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. He's like, don't be sorry. I was like, sorry, sir, I didn't hear what you said. Could you repeat that? And he was like, where's your citizenship? And I was like, oh, it's in the U.S. So just had like a really bad attitude, and I was like, dude, come on, like, just ask me the question. Don't be, you know, smart about it. So, anyways, asked me that, and then he's like, hey, did you cross the border of Canada last year? And I was like, no, sir, I did not. He was like, are you sure about that? And I was like, yes, sir. I haven't crossed. I crossed the border in I think about 2008. I traveled to Alaska. He's like, oh, okay. So anyways, sat there for 15 or 20 minutes, him asking me all these questions. Finally got to cross. I'm already 2 days late. I should have been home already 2 days ago in Ohio, but complications, whatever. It's been so hectic. I've sat at truck stops for like 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, a day and a half. For them trying to repower me, but they can't repower me, so it's been terrible. It's been a horrible week. But I'm getting through it. You know, just taking it as it comes. So that's that, guys. There's a little update. Yeah, I'll have another blog here, probably not too long. Kind of talk about some other things. So yeah, trucking through, signing out. I'm not going to take long to sign out because Daniel Siptak said I took too long signing out. So signing out, Sam Mickler, trucking through, part like 15. Peace.